Good evening, Team Gunmetal. Tonight we are going to take a quick look into belts and covert belts. You can see 4 belts here in front of you on the screen. You can see, your average normal belt, another average normal belt that I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of times, rigger's belt, another average belt that anyone could wear, just your BDU type belt, and of course the very popular Cobra buckle type belt that I'm sure a lot of people have seen by now. What I wanted to point out with this video is simply, which one of these do you think hides covert gear? Take a look. Which one of these do you think has and hides covert gear? Is there anything here that might indicate which one of these has it? And no, it's not this one just because it's off screen. I'll put this one on screen for you. Is it this one? Is this one hiding covert gear? Is it the rigger's belt? Perhaps it's this leather one? Is there maybe a pocket sewn in here somewhere? Or maybe it's the BDU belt. Is there a pocket sewn in here somewhere? Well, I can tell you this. Any of these belts could potentially have covert gear in them. But it's this one right here. This is a Shomer-Tec belt, and it hides quite a bit of covert gear. Now, I don't have any covert gear in it at the moment, but each of these pockets right here is actually elastic. And there are quite a few of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of these little elastic pockets that can hide stuff in. You can easily take something like my little covert entry pry bar here from CountyCom and just slide it right in there. And it's gone. No big deal. You can take and put some little fire starter in there. Boom. Just like that. And it just stays on you. It's not a huge thing to conceal stuff. Another thing, these little stat gear pocket samurai blades. Pretty easy to conceal, nice and small. Doesn't have to be very big to be concealed. You just slide this little bugger into here, and you're good to go. You could also go the other way with it and actually leave it where the pocket clip is sticking out. Just like this. Pocket clip's sticking out. You can grab it and deploy it when you need it. But the real gem, the real good part about this belt is what's hidden in the actual buckle itself. First you see this, and then on the other side you see this. It's pretty obvious what that is. That is a Shomer-Tec covert handcuff key. Not very hard to figure that one out at all. But the other side, this is a ceramic razor. Now I'm going to use my little knife to get at that because it's packed away in there pretty well. To keep it as covert as possible. But this is just a little tiny covert ceramic razor blade. That's all that is. It's meant to be in there and be concealed. So if you need a way to get out of zip ties or something of that nature, you have a way to get out of zip ties or duct tape or whatever. And the belt, it weighs next to nothing. Now, keep in mind, this is not an advertisement for Shomer-Tec or for this belt from Shomer-Tec, but if you want to pick one up for yourself, I will put the link into the description if you want to pick one up. it's a nice belt. It's lightweight. It's easy to use. And obviously, it's super adjustable for just about anybody to carry one. Even if all you used was one of these little pockets to carry some extra money, it would be worth it if you had it and you needed it. Okay? Just something to keep in mind. All right. This one here is from Vertx. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Vertx is if you know what tactical gear is and EDC gear. Vertx is one of the bigger, better companies out there. This has the Alpine Cobra buckle on here, the USA version. I think it's the Alpine buckle. But, oh, this is the Raptor buckle. Sorry. But yeah, it's one of the higher quality belt buckles on the market. And it's really, really easy to use. It's got a massive load rating on there, 12 kilonewtons for the pull, and then 6 kilonewtons for the push. It's very, very good belt. But it doesn't have a whole lot of room to conceal anything on it. We're talking about concealment here, and there isn't a whole lot of room to conceal anything. However, if I wanted to conceal something on here, I might consider sewing a small pocket into here where I could conceal some things, because it's a pretty thick belt. It's pretty robust, so there's no reason you couldn't take some extra room and sew some pockets into here, or maybe just one or a whole bunch all the way around, just like the Shomer-Tec one had. Okay, that's the Vertx Cobra type belt. Now, this is a personal favorite of mine. My wife knows this sound well. That's the sound of my belt. She knows that sound well, don't you?
Yeah.
She's right there. That's the Mistress of Metal. In case anybody's listening to the podcast, they know who the Mistress of Metal is. Okay, this is a belt from Spec-Ops. It's a high-quality belt made in the USA. This belt has been with me for a long, long time. As you can tell, the tag is actually starting to rip off. That's how long it's been with me. Again, very, very stiff belt. You've got room to sew pockets into this one if you want to. It's got the rigger's belt and the D-ring if you need to rappel or do an emergency extraction. It's a really, really good belt, and it can be modified. I may do a video on how to modify these or these with covert pockets and ways to store covert gear in those belts. And then, of course, this is just a normal leather belt. This is actually, this is one of those ones that's just, you know, made in a foreign country. Sorry, Donald Trump. It's made in a foreign country. It's leather. It's got skull stamps in it. But, again, it could easily be modified to have an extra layer of leather sewn into it, and you could store a ton of covert gear in here. Or you could look at changing out the buckle itself and actually put a different buckle altogether in it and wear it in a different way. So you do have some options with this one here. You're not held to your normal minimal options when it comes to this belt. You do have other things that you could easily do. So definitely keep that in mind. Anyways, just wanted to go over some covert belts with you guys and some ways that you could actually carry some gear in a belt if you wanted to. We have a video coming up here pretty quick on how to modify pants to actually carry covert gear. You guys are probably going to love this one. So if you're interested in learning more about carrying covert gear and different ways to do it, definitely tune in. I may post up a quick teaser on it, but ultimately it's going to be a video that is only available for my Patreon users or my Patreon members. If you're a member of Patreon, you'll actually get to see what I'm going to be doing with a pair of Wolf Gray 511 pants and how many different areas that I'm going to conceal gear in on those. Okay? Anyways, until next time, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and join us on the podcast. And don't forget, we are here just about every week, and we're on our podcast every week as well. And we travel deeper and deeper inside the Gunmetal Armory. Good night, everybody.